Check, check. All right, everybody, we'll get started with an update on the severe weather threat here shortly. If you have the KETV weather app, you would have just gotten an update. If you live in Little Rock or to the north, that a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until about 2 a.m. So we've got a threat that's going to continue, at least for a little while. We're just now starting to see some storms develop in North Arkansas. So we'll go through it and kind of show you what to expect and what we're going to be watching over these next few hours. We'll get started here in about 2 minutes. We'll let this this chat room fill up. Looks like I've got a couple hundred of you in here so far. I'd love to see where you're commenting from as I'm looking through the chat. Some severe weather is possible tonight. Scattered thunderstorms, scattered severe thunderstorms, especially the north half of the state. And hopefully doesn't amount to much. It has not so far, but that doesn't mean it won't. I have daybreak in the morning, so this is going to be a long, long night. All right, I got a can't hear you from Karen. Let's see. All right, I got a can't hear you from... Nope, I've got the sound. We're good. All right, Monica, Amber, Karen, Chris, thanks for watching. We'll get started here in about 1 minute. I do not like these nighttime severe weather events. No matter what they are, no matter the time of year, I can do without them, that's for sure. "30 seconds. We've got a few hundred of you in here. I was off today, and wouldn't you know it, on my off day, pre-planned months in advance, we're going to have a severe weather risk. All right, good evening. I hope you're having a great evening. It's Thursday night, just after 9:15. Many of you probably getting ready for bed, wondering what is the weather going to do. And I'm here to tell you there's going to be some thunderstorms. Probably going to produce some large hail, and that's no fun to hear at night. Maybe some high winds. And there's the low but not zero chance of an isolated tornado. If the stars align, we could have a tornado tonight somewhere. And I'll show you the kind of the cluster of storms that we're most worried about. So here's the current configuration of the severe thunderstorm watch. A bunch of counties in central, northeast, and north central Arkansas were just added, including Little Rock, Pulaski County, Lonoke County are included in that, as is every county to the north. This part of the severe thunderstorm watch down into southwest Arkansas, the storms in east Oklahoma have really struggled, and looks like this part of the watch is going to expire at 11 p.m., while the rest of this watch over here stays in effect until 2 in the morning. So severe thunderstorm threat probably ends before that, but this is the latest. And of course, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for part of Izard County right now up in north central Arkansas. So if you've stepped outside today, it is very warm and very humid. Temperatures are still in the 70s, so there is still, I think, plenty of ingredients for storms to work with tonight, and that's why we're worried about hail. So here's the current radar image. There are storms now finally trying to develop after not developing all afternoon. They're developing now up in North Arkansas, and they extend. The strongest storm is coming out of Mountain Home. The other areas of showers extend back towards the west into Johnson County. I'll be very interested to see if this stuff in Johnson County actually ends up developing, because model data has had that as a supercell later on. The storm that's coming into Izard County, eventually going to take it on a path towards Melbourne. I do think there's going to be some hail with this one. And I think the storms back towards the southwest are steadily intensifying. We'll give you a still image of what's currently where. And as we look up the line into Missouri, Missouri's had a ton of severe weather tonight. Missouri into Illinois, they've had tornadoes, they've had high winds. Arkansas has gotten lucky so far. That doesn't mean it'll stay that way. The storms out towards Mena have really struggled. It's just a couple of showers out there now. And down into South Arkansas and down towards Benton, and I'll point these out to you, there's been a couple of showers, but nothing's really been able to be sustained. We'll watch it. Still, it looks like storms down in this part of the state are going to struggle because they're not up against the cold front. Up in North Arkansas, where I'll take you here now, these storms are up against the cold front, and that's why they're initiating where they are. So we're going to watch this activity in Johnson County. We're going to watch this activity up further towards the north of Marshall, see if this line fills in at all. I want to show you the model data. It's been pretty consistent the last few hours. It's developed. See, it's not exactly right. It doesn't have this storm right here. That doesn't exist, and this line not quite as potent as it's showing, but it's generally got the right idea. As of 9 o'clock, storms developing, and so now we can trust this model hopefully some. As we go towards 10:30, it fizzles most of the stuff over South Arkansas, and I'll zoom this in for you so you can see exactly what this model data shows. This is not a radar image, this is model data, so it won't be exact, but it's giving us kind of a good idea of what's going to occur. The line of storms intensifies as it moves towards the southeast. And we have this, it has this cluster over Johnson County now, intensifying over the next hour and a half as it moves towards Conway County and Faulkner County. I'd be especially worried about some large hail if that were to occur. It has this line intensifying further as we go towards 11 p.m. at midnight. It says you've got a couple of isolated storms out here, and you see those purple cores. It doesn't always tell you that that's large hail, but I think in this case tonight, that is indicative of some large hail potential as we go through the next few hours. So this is a model solution for what's going to happen over the next couple of hours, 11 p.m., midnight, and we've got what looks to be the chance for several storms to develop, and these storms could produce some hailstones, maybe even some golf ball size hailstones. And no matter the hail size, at night when you're in your room or in your house, it sounds crazy outside if you get some hail, and I do think some hail is going to be possible, and this is going to be the corridor where I think that is the most possible, is this corridor right here. It's kind of where the severe thunderstorm watch box has just been outlined. From there, we go towards midnight, and it has a hailstorm, and again, this is not, it doesn't always happen exactly like this, but it has hailstorms on the north side of the metro area, so this is what we're going to be watching for, and I think as we get towards 1 and 2 a.m., the storms continue to drift south. We do expect them to eventually weaken below severe limits. We think that happens after 2 a.m. That's why the severe thunderstorm watch will expire then. So, threat by threat. Tonight, the hail threat is the highest. The wind threat is there as well if storms get into lines, but hail is the main concern. And then the tornado threat. It's very low, but it is not zero. Very low, but not zero. So we'll be watching that very closely. I think there's a lot of things working against the development of tornadoes, but this is Arkansas. It's April. We'll watch for that as well. So a lot of you are getting ready to go off to bed. I don't want you to be worried. I don't want you to be scared. Here's all you need to do. You just need to have a way to get warnings. I talked to a gentleman today who got him a Midland weather radio just for tonight, just to go off, just in case tornado warning is issued. And that's great. That's one way to get warnings. Another way you can get warnings is with the KATV weather app. You just set up those alerts. Make sure they come to your phone. If you don't want a severe thunderstorm watch waking you up, don't set that alert. If you want, make sure tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings are set. Make sure those alerts are set. So we went through the model data. Here's what we're currently working with. The storms over North Arkansas continue to intensify, especially over Johnson County. We're starting to see these storms come together, and this is what I just showed you on the model data. That's the cluster I'm concerned about. So, and I'll stop this so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. These storms right here, model data has them really developing and moving towards the southeast, and so that is the concern. And it also has these storms moving towards the southeast as well. So we think these storms could be severe, And we think large hail is going to be the main threat. Severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 2 a.m. The tornado threat is on the low side. I'll be posting updates all night, and then I'll be on Channel 7 Daybreak starting at 4:30, ending at 7. Just one of those nights if you're a meteorologist in this state. So thank you for joining me. If you missed part of this, it'll post as soon as the video ends, and you can go back and watch all the information you need. I cover all of it very well, but this is happening in real time, so we may see, we may see severe thunderstorm warnings pop soon. Make sure you're tracking on radar. We sure will be. We'll be following it on social platforms, and if a tornado warning is issued, we will go live on TV, ktv.com/watch, and on air, Channel 7. The best way to get us is over the air and antenna, but of course, wherever you find your local channels, we'll be live there too. I'm going through the chat real quick just to see if there's any questions. We've got a lot of you commenting. Dylan, Missouri and Illinois overperformed. It sure did. Eric, I had experience with big hail at night. Yes, and we've had plenty of hailstorms here in Arkansas. I'll pull up the model data. Still got so many of you in here watching. But it's got these storms developing, this line it's currently up to the northwest. It's got this line moving towards the southeast with the threat for large hail, basically from Batesville to Little Rock. That's what it has the line doing. Now, that doesn't guarantee that's what's going to happen, but this is a pretty good signal at this point that we need to pay attention and large hail is going to be possible. Michael Friday, what about Hot Springs? It remains to be seen. As always, stay aware, but it looks like the worst of this weather could be off towards the northeast. Carrie, flying in from Atlanta, landing in Little Rock at midnight, that's going to be close. I hope the storms stay towards the north because that could be a long night for you if we have storms at the airfield. Devonda is at the ZZ Top concert, hopefully long gone by the time, so a lot of you from inside Simmons Bank, hopefully you guys are done by the time storms get into the metro area. Again, thank you for commenting and thank you for watching. This is what we're watching tonight, the threat for large hail and the threat for the possibility, it's not impossible, to get an isolated tornado. And on a night like tonight, it's very humid. Maybe the stars do align and we get something. I'd be especially watching this corridor. This is model data again, 11:30 tonight, somewhere in there, where we could see some storms produce large hail or severe weather. All right, you guys stay safe. Make sure you have a way to get your warnings. We'll be watching it for you all night long. I'll go live again if I need to. I'd love these storms to just fall apart, but I don't think that's going to happen. Everybody have a good night. Let's have a great Friday.